Dan, firstly, thank you for inviting me into your gym.
No worries. Cheers, man.
How does it feel after your fight against Charlie Duffield 2 weeks ago? How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel good, man. You know, I've rested up, had a week off, now just back in the gym. But yeah, getting loads of messages, everyone praising me, and a lot of people like the performance. And yeah, it's been good, man. A lot of supporters, new supporters, and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been really good.
Before the fight started, it was promoted as a 50-50.
Yeah.
It was seen as. In fact, he might have been a slight favourite.
Yeah.
Now you look back at it, you actually really dominated the fight.
Yeah.
How did you go into the fight mentally, thinking that you might have been the underdog? And then how did you adjust while you were in the fight?
To be fair, I don't really know about numbers and all, you know, the odds and stuff like that, and who's favourite and whatnot. But obviously, I do know a lot of people were tipping him to beat me. You know, his stablemate Dillian, you know, the guy that was the head of the card. You know. Shout out to Dillian for even getting me on the card or whatnot. He was saying he's gonna beat me by knockout. You know, a lot of people were saying that. But with Charlie, I think he's quite sharp and he's dangerous in the first couple rounds. So once I adjusted, and as you can see, like from the 4th round on, I got into my groove. You know, it took me a bit late because he does hit hard. Like, don't get twisted. When he was hitting me with jabs, I could feel them. Like the one or two jabs, I could feel them. Like, okay, yeah, he's got power. So you just had to be a bit. I just had to be a bit sensible in the first couple of rounds, see what it's about, and then from there, I just
One of the things you saw, and it's probably a different side of you, was you actually was very patient.
Yeah.
You know, was that because of the power, or was that just because you wanted to take your time and showcase your ability?
Not much about showcasing my ability. The main thing is just to get the win. I don't care whether it was a split decision, whatever, as long as I got the win. But I was just patient because it's a 10-round fight. Do you know what I mean? It's not it weren't like my usual 4 rounds or 6 rounds where I've got to put the pressure on quickly. It's a 10-rounder. So I thought, let me take my time, adjust and see what he's about, like I said, and then from there it went on. So
one of the fortunate things for you though was, I think it was in the first 10 seconds you hit him with a jab and the swelling went up. Did you start targeting the swelling after that, or was it just continue staying in your stride?
Yeah, just staying in my stride. I made sure that I kept hitting him with hard jabs, and wherever they landed, which most of the time was on I think it was his right side of his eye or whatever. It just got worse and worse, to be fair.
Looking back at the entire performance, it's pretty difficult to see any weaknesses. But one of the small criticisms that you may receive is the fact that he never really let his hands go, and we didn't really get to see much of the defensive display. Do you think that's you being hard done by that? Just
no. Do you know what he did let his hand? There was a couple rounds where he was trying to alright, flow a bit, and he was letting his hands go, but I'm just built for this. I'm not even taking a picture. He was hitting me. I was watching it the other day. There was one round, I think, which was going at it, and he was flowing. He was letting his hands go, but I just weren't. Not that I weren't feeling it, but I was just more dominant. And my shots, when I'm hitting him, I think they were harder and affecting him a bit more. So, yeah.
Do you think he actually showed a really good spirit to actually keep?
No, 100%. Some of them shots, them overhands, I laid people out with them, and they were big shots, and there was even one point where I was thinking, okay, I think it's just going to be a beating for 10 rounds, but then, because when I watched the replay, obviously I saw in his corners, they were we'll pull you out, but on my side, I couldn't see that. I was just thinking, he's just taking these shots overhand after overhand. He's just going to take the 10-round beating or whatnot. But 100%, he was tough, man. I can't lie. I got to give him all due respect. He's a tough warrior, man.
Moving forward now, I mean, you're the Southern Area champion. I mean, this is one of the belts that a lot of fighters pick up the belt on their way to pick bigger things.
Yeah.
What would you say is probably your next step? Would you want to stay at domestic level, because there's a lot of domestic fighters, especially in London? You know, Craig Richards, Andre Sterling, Anthony Yarde, but he's probably going up. Joshua White. So be looking to target one of those guys, or maybe take a step back.
First off, obviously MTK Global, they deal with all the matchmaking and the opportunities and what's out there. But like you said, the landscape, especially in the domestic scene, is wide, man. There's so many people, so many boxers, a lot of them fighters you've named, Craig Richards, Ratzi or Andre, they're all in this. Like, we're all from South London, so it's mad. But everything's a step by step. Do you know what I mean? I would say like people like Craig and whatnot, they're at British level. Like, do you know what I mean? Craig, Ratzi, they're all at British level. I've just won the Southern Area, which is like the first kind of domestic title. So I'm not gonna get too far ahead of myself. You know, everything's step by step. So it'll probably be either a defense or maybe target the English or whatnot.
Would you be looking like, because those kind of guys eventually might end up clashing further down the line? Are you good with all of those guys in terms of, do you get along with them? Or
of course, man. Actually, that's my guy, man. We spar all the time. Gives me a lot of advice as well. Learn a lot from him. You know, come on with someone with such pedigree. You know, Olympian and whatnot. He's one of my guys. Craig Richards, we used to train together at Palmer's. I know him very well. Who else is there? Who else? But yeah, no, we're all cool, man. Like, but it's the same with Charlie. Me and Charlie were proper cool as well. But at the end of the day, sometimes when it's business or there's an opportunity, you know, you put that aside and you know you do your thing.
That was going to be my next question, because I was going to ask, like, would you ever have a problem fighting him? Obviously, you know, having animosity towards someone might give you a bit extra motivation, but when you look at it in reverse, you know, if you admire someone or have some kind of a rapport with them, it might be difficult to fight. You don't think you'd have that problem?
No, to be honest, it was hard for me, even with Charlie, to like get that, I'm gonna knock him out and have that animosity. I didn't have that at all. It was just literally, alright, when we step, as soon as I stepped in the ring, okay, look, it's business, it's crunch time. Right throughout the whole fight, it was just like, whatever, like I didn't ever try like stare him down or anything, nothing like that. But as soon as I got in the ring, it's a different case. So you get it a lot in boxing, man. Friends fighting each other, people that know each other. It happens, man. It's boxing, it's entertainment. So yeah. It
shows great mental fortitude, because from outside looking in, you know, if you were to fight maybe a friend of yours, you might, you know, not go as hard, but it looked like he was as ferocious as I've ever seen him.
Do you know what it is? It's like, when you got to think about it, you spar your mates, like, and when you're sparring even your friends, you go at it, like, so do you know what I mean? It's just when you're in there, you're just, you know what I mean? It's boxing, you know, you're fighting, it is what it is, and then when you come out, it's your mates or whatever, you know. That's the game. It's a gentleman's sport, to be fair. And whether you're friends or not, when you're fighting, you're fighting. So.
Well, the platform you're fighting on was actually really good, box office and everything. Did you feel any pressure? How did it feel even being on that kind of stage and at that level?
It's only afterwards when I'm watching it on Sky and, you know, I'm like, right, like, look, Sky Sports, Matchroom, or this, that. It looks really, really good, like, but when I'm on the day, it's like I said, it's just, you know, get the job done. Like, every time I step in the ring, within my whole 9 fights, everything outside is just like dark black. I don't see anything like the cameras or no whatnot. It's just my opponent and the ring, the referee, and yeah, we get down to business. So yeah.
On the night of the fight, there was a little bit of, I think I heard people say that somehow you ended up with Dillian Whyte's gloves. What was all of that about?
I don't know if that's true, but now my first gloves that I tried on, they were too small in it. Like the day before, I didn't get to go to the fighters meeting and whatnot. So when they gave me my gloves, they were too tight. So I actually asked I think it was the board or whatnot, for new gloves in it. Then they went and got me some new gloves, grants. Like, so there's, I don't know, maybe they had spare ones, but apparently they were Dillians, I don't know. But
so you actually didn't, it wasn't actually, you actually didn't get to pick the gloves?
No, I asked for grants, but the grants that they gave me, they were too small. So obviously, when I tried them on and I was putting them on, I was like, nah, these are too tight. So they had to go and get me another pair. Whether that was Dillians or not, I didn't know. They just went and grabbed another pair of grants, and then that's the grants that I boxed in. So yeah.
You know the gloves that you actually wore on, you're supposed to wear when they're that was the ones you wanted, that was the ones you picked, or obviously you had it from prior?
I didn't pick a colour or anything, I just picked grants. So I got grants, but they were too small. Asked for another pair, then they went and got another pair of grants. And I don't know whether that was Dillian's or not, but yeah.
Wow, because it was a bit weird. Obviously now we look at it, everybody's talking the controversy of what's going on.
Of course, no, but I did have to go and get they did have to go and get me another pair of gloves. Whether it was Dillian's or not, I wasn't aware. I didn't know. So yeah.
Oh yeah, that's literally crazy.
Yeah, but either way, I got the win. He got the win. So, yeah. But obviously, for him, obviously, if they were his gloves, it might have been a bit of a distraction to start off with or whatnot. But I'm sure Dillian he's just got a strong head on him. So regardless, he would have just went and done his thing anyway.
Well, one of your stablemates you trains at this gym, Anthony Yarde, he's going over to Russia to fight Kovalev.
Big business, man. That's it, man. But this is the thing. Everyone's always was always like, oh, he doesn't fight anybody, but he's gone to the jugular. For me, Kovalev's the best fighter in the whole. Do you know what I mean? The whole division. For me, it's out of him and actually all four of them. Yeah. If I'm being fair, but I think I would give it to Kovalev just for experience and who he's beat and stuff like that. So yeah, you got to rate that. He's going to fight the #1 guy in the division. Can't do but respect it, and everyone in the UK should get behind him. Do you get me? Whether they think he's going to win or lose, get behind him because he's doing something mad. He's doing something crazy. So yeah.
Removing your emotion and your connection to him, how do you see that fight going personally?
Do you know what? As it's getting closer, I'm leaning a lot into Yarde's favour. I just think he's sharp. His sharpness. He's taken the less punishment. He's dedicated. Obviously, I see him every day in the gym. He trains his socks off. And yeah, man. I don't see what Kovalev does out there. All I see is obviously the performances he's done in the past and stuff. And you hear stuff as well about he drinks, doesn't live the life, stuff like that. You hear stuff that his old trainers say and stuff. So I don't know, man.
So did you say knockout or points?
No, if Yarde was going to win, I think it would be a knockout still.
So how do you think he travels? Because it's Russia. Do you feel obviously Russian judges are pretty good based off history, but do you feel there would ever be any bit of?
It could be boxing, man. Come on, there's controversies everywhere. Tunde even always says there's controversies at your call. You can't just say because it's in Russia, it might be dodgy, but they're planning on knocking him out, so that's nothing I need to worry about then. So as long as he does that, you get me, that's it.
I mean, another fight, I don't know if you probably did see, was Andre Sterling and
Craig Richards. Yeah.
How did you think that fight went?
How I thought it was going to go.
Before?
I thought, again, Andre trains here, so I see he's a very hard-working guy. Can't knock him. He trains really, really hard. He's had 2 back-to-back wins, good wins over Kurt Garvey to win the Southern area, and then he beat Ricky Summers. So for me, I had him as the favourite. I just thought his work rate would persevere and give him that win. But I guess Craig's got that experience. You know what I mean? He's boxed at that level, and Craig as well. Like I said, I've known him from the amateurs. He's a very good boxer as well. Very slick, tall, rangy. Uses his range well, and he can punch. Saw what he done to Jake Paul. So yeah, it was a good fight, man. But I think what stirred it was Craig's experience. That's what was the key factor in that win. Sterling
is someone who's probably on the same level as you right now in terms of, you both won Southern Area Championships and stuff.
Yeah.
Would that be someone you could have in your next fight?
Maybe, it depends, we'll see, man. If it can happen, then it's not something I won't shy away from. I'm sure he won't shy away from it. Obviously it's a bit, again, that would be mad and fighting another peacock. It's I don't even like the guys that I train with and shit, but I guess so. If that's the fight that people wanted to see and it gets made, then he's a credible opponent. Just because he lost to Craig, don't ever get it twisted. He's a good fighter, strong, good boxer as well. He just didn't get it right on that night. The best man won. He's a credible fighter, and I'm open to fight. Wouldn't be a problem.
Obviously, you just come off a really, really good. And you probably would have fight of the night in many people's eyes. Moving forward, when obviously you wouldn't know, but when do you think you would be out next, or when do you want to be out next?
I want to be out next probably October, but I could be out sooner. He's come it was only a week ago. I'm still back in the gym. Yeah, but October will probably be the next time I want to be out. But I definitely want to have 1 or 2 fights before the end of the year. I like staying active. MTK have done a tremendous job in doing that. I only turned over like a year and a half ago, something like that. Had 9 fights, got the Southern area, so hopefully they can keep me active and keep me on these good platforms.
Yeah, I know. I mean, a lot of you got a lot of new viewers because of that. I mean, it was even on the Zone in America. So how did that even feel? You know?
Yeah, like, see, I didn't even know it was in America in the Zone.
Yeah, it was on the Zone in America.
Yeah, see, so there you go. Like, it's more exposure for me. So you never know what opportunities, what people who might want to fight me and stuff. So yeah, like, I'm happy that it's just opened up the horizon to that for me. So yeah.
But yeah, and you won, so well done. But yeah, thanks very much.
Man. No, I appreciate it. Thank you for coming, man. And hopefully we can keep having these kind of talks after good wins and whatnot. So yeah, don't be a stranger. Keep coming down, man.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Shane. Cheers, man. Thanks, bro. Sweet.